important idea is just to like optimize the things that like currently exist instead of like trying to
That's
add
true.
50 new things and trying to make it this massive thing because it's just gonna fall apart.
Yeah, I think Joey's doing pretty well though. Not Joey King J, but Joey the Run.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to remember.
Speaking of,
crazy. Yeah, Joey's in the chat. Welcome back to the JLB Podcast. My name is Joker.
My name is Needle.
And today we have on someone I'm not gonna say who needs no introduction.
Bro,
I say that every.
You said this
time.
every episode. Yeah, you say it every episode.
Okay.
It's so funny.
So the person we have on this episode, he is the former world record holder in Super Mario Sunshine 90%. He is currently going for it again. He is the absolute GOAT at the game, and he also holds
Sunshine
what is
Boat.
it? Third place? Hold on, let me check. I gotta check this because I saw third place on like it was Super Mario Sunshine Arcade or some game I saw on your profile.
Yeah, third place out of 5 people.
Third place out of 5 people.
Look, we take it. We take the top 3.
Super Mario
Look,
Sunshine Arcade. JJsrl, welcome to the podcast.
How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself, JJ?
I'm doing good. I am a little bit tired. I'm getting used to a new like work schedule, which has me up at like 6 a.m. So
Jeez.
my sleep has not been happy. But other than that, I've been doing good.
For sure. So JJ, they would some would call me a Sunshine hater.
Yeah,
A lot of people are.
What do you see in Sunshine that others don't?
I personally see how smooth the movement is. Like when you're playing it, everything is smooth. The camera is just like a constant like motion. It's not like clunky at all. The music is great. The atmosphere is great. It's a game that I personally grew up with, so it does have like a lot of nostalgia. It's like a huge benefit as to why I enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's like most of the main things. A lot of people speedrun because like their goal is to like get really, really good and like just really fast. And sometimes it's like a game they grew up with. Sometimes it's just like the new game that comes out, or they just want to be really good. Examples like 64. Random people just want to speedrun Mario 64.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, like I just love playing Sunshine. I could just sit there and play through it casually over and over again. I'll be happy with it. Like I just play the game so much. So I think that helps a lot in terms of like how I go about my speedrunning.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
It was like, yeah.
I think that Sunshine outside of playing it casually looks really cool in speedrun and any competitive sort of thing. I played it casually. I didn't get to beat it, didn't get the chance, but it was one of the worst casual experiences I ever had.
Damn.
It is
I think
a pretty big learning curve, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
no offense to anyone who likes it, of course. Like everyone has their own preferences. Gaming is art, and art is subjective. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I had like a very, very tiny window of not liking Sunshine. Like not liking it. It was very small, and it was mainly due to the blue coins. I think a lot of people hate Sunshine mainly because of those. Like if you go for like shines and stuff, because a lot of these blue coins, I'm gonna be real, not the greatest. Like because like they want you to explore each location for all blue coins, and that is fair. You know, you get rewarded for exploration and stuff. What I hate are those really specific ones, like the one where you spray the sun in or spray the sun or the moon in Piazza Village. Like those, like it's like or spray a random bookshelf on a beach. Like
some
what?
are just complete bullshit.
It's funny because like there are, if you talk to every single NPC, one of them tells you like where the blue coin is. Like there's one NPC in Pianta Village that'll tell you to like spray at the sun, but you don't usually talk to them. It's completely random.
Yeah.
When people come up with, because I know a lot of people really don't like blue coins. I'm known for not really enjoying 120 shines that much myself as a speedrun.
That's
but
fair, yeah.
We can go further than that maybe. But where was I going with this? With like a lot of the Zelda games, like if you want like 100% those, you have to go way out of your way and do a bunch of stuff. And people love 100%ing those games. It's like you compare that to Sunshine, where it's like it's not that bad. It's just a couple of niche locations.
Yeah, like Super said in chat, do your taxes, file your W-2, then look at the ocean for 5 seconds to get a blue coin.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
It's
I
not
know
as bad as
Sunshine-
some moons in Odyssey, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's another
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I
The-
still have yet to 100%
Sunshine.
Odyssey.
me too.
Sunshine casually. I don't know. It's like I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's the best experience either. It's
No,
like kind of in the
I
middle for me.
100% agree. I think
Yeah, it's like
Galaxy is like
weird.
one of my favorite. Galaxy 1's one of my favorites casually. That game casually
Mhm.
is
Really?
amazing. Music,
Such a good
atmosphere.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, I had a lot of fun doing Galaxy casually. Once I actually beat the game any percent, I had no motivation really
Yeah, you didn't wanna
do the rest
continue
of
it,
the game. I really did not care for
Still
it.
you still have another good 75% of the game to complete technically if you want to really
Yeah.
complete everything.
Technically, if I do 242, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about Odyssey that really pulled me in. I beat the game after 2 days when it first came out, and I have played it at least once a month, maybe even once a week for the last 5-6 years.
Maybe it's because it's like super fast paced. Like you
I
just
think
grab a
it's 'cause
moon, you
it's
keep
so-
going. Like
it's
it's so like snappy.
I think it's
I
because it's
feel.
so experimental as well, because the movement is
That's-
so wacky.
That's how I feel with Sunshine. Like weirdly
That's
enough,
true.
like Sunshine at top level is a beautiful game. Like I love seeing speedruns like at the like highest level.
It
in
is. It
Sunshine.
is really cool to see.
It's
I will admit to that.
Crazy.
That's the
Sunshine
thing I
top
feel
level
about
is
like Odyssey. Like Odyssey top level just feels like illegal in a sense. Like those people are like too good.
Mhm.
Goated.
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
when I watch Tyrone play, I'm like, this guy's too good. Like it's not fair type of too good.
Yeah, Odyssey at top level is wild.
When I watch like
can't even
64 speedruns or Galaxy speedruns, I'm like, if I like really grind, I feel like I could get there like with continuing to play. But I watch
Yeah.
Odyssey movement, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, Odyssey's
just-
crazy with it.
Don't see anywhere I could ever get close to that. And I have like a 103 in Odyssey, which is not horrible, but like
Yeah.
still trying to go
Mhm.
further than that, it's not easy.
Odyssey to me is what like SMB1 feels like to most people. Like watching the movement of both games is just crazy. Like how do people learn this stuff and execute it so like well? It's insane to see like stuff like that. I think that's why like Odyssey, I think I'm more into 80%. I don't really like it. I don't like all moons. And I think it's just because like
There's
Mushroom
so many.
Kingdom. It's like the biggest one is Mushroom Kingdom. I hate that. But
I'm
don't know,
a big
like-
fan of like Darker Side. Like I've never done the run, but I enjoy watching through a run of Darker Side. Like it just seems like a very comfy amount of moons where you are going out of your way a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've
like-
I've said this on previous podcasts and to a Multi Mario Runner Swag, you probably know him.
So I
But I think that if they were to have a main Multi Mario category with Odyssey, then it would be the 602 and Darker Side. I feel like
Probably.
the 1862 is just too many. If they do all moons in Odyssey, that turns off so many people because there's just
Yeah,
so
'cause, like,
many.
I'm pretty sure you have to
It
do that
goes from
first,
like
right?
it goes from like a little under 4 hours, I would say, like if you're really good, like,
Mhm.
like good, to like over 8, almost 9, or like especially like when you're not as good and you're just trying to do the 1862, it's like 10
Yeah.
plus hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
just in Odyssey.
80, what's worse is you have to do that game first because I'm pretty sure it's the Switch games first and then the 602 games afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like Odyssey 3D World and then the 602 games. It's like
that must be brutal. Like right when you finish
worst
3D
way to
World
open.
and
Yeah.
you finish 3D World, it's like all right, time to play for another 20 hours.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
the game.
You boot up 64 and you're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's
There's so many games I want to try and play, and like 3D World, like I want to learn like 380 in 3D World. I want to learn much more things in Odyssey. It seems really fun. My main problem is like I'm a huge like mental person, and right now like my only mental goal is getting a 112, and I can't get myself to do anything else until I get that.
Oh, yeah.
gotta lock
Like-
in, yeah.
I'm trying to lock in, and the 602 is coming up, and I did join it, and I'm counting down the days. But like,
Same.
it's one of those things of like, if I start trying to de-rust for the 602, I will never get to where I currently am in Sun. Or it would take me so long to get back to that.
Yeah,
And my motivation
Oh,
is just so set on Sunshine. Like, I feel like if I was playing Galaxy, I'd just be so bored and want to do Sunshine. But once I get 112,
Yeah.
I feel like I'll have motivation to explore other games. It's happened multiple times in my speedrunning career where, like, as soon as I get my SMS 90% goal, then I move on to other things.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Those of us
A
going
lot
to
of a lot
SGDQ,
of people, especially those going outside of speedrunning, but kind of, are sort of a part of it. They have a friend who's part of it or something. They don't realize how big of a part mental is in speedrunning. Because if your mental sucks, then
you're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah. My mom, for example, I'll be on a good run and I'll reset and I'll like slam my desk or something and come out and grab a string cheese, and she'd be like, "Geez, why are you so mad?" And I'll say like, "I lost a good run," and she'll say, "Well, can't you just get another?"
Real.
Like, no, I can't just get another.
Like, I wish it was that easy. Like, oh my god,
I can't just get another run. I need.
Oh my god.
I need to
My parents will.
in a row.
My parents will then be like, "Just quit," and I'm like, "No, see, you don't understand. Like, it's not just as easy as me stop speedrunning. Like, I put so much time and energy into what I do. Just quitting outright, like cold turkey, is like wild. I think that would do worse on my mental than if I were to keep going."
My parents, like, or at least my mom has gone to some of the events. Like, I was known as like the quote unquote prodigy. Like, I was originally like the young kid in terms of
That's
like
crazy.
going to like the SGDQs and everything. Like, I went, my first GDQ was SGDQ 2016 or something.
Holy crap!
And
oh my god!
like everyone there, like I joined the SMS
how
race,
old
and everyone's
was
like a mid college kid, and I am 13, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I think I was like 13, 14 that year. That's crazy.
so
2016. Wow.
How old are you now, JJ?
I'm 21 right now.
Oh, okay. You're same age as Needle.
So
No, I'm 22.
I've
My bad.
been going for a while, but it's been a huge part of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But
That's
yeah,
real.
Events are so fun.
when my mom went there, like she saw like the effort that people put in. Like she had like a 30 to 45-minute conversation with Bouncy Boy. I don't even know who he is, like the Sunshine Runner. But they were talking about a while, and she was like, "How do you balance this in school and everything?" And she was just the mom asking the mom questions. But she ended up coming to the conclusion like she doesn't get it, but she knows that I care about it, and that's like the main thing that matters. And
Yeah.
my dad is just, as long as your grades are fine, then you can do whatever you want.
That's based. Yeah, that's based.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. Like
So-
support and like stuff like that is everything when it comes to speedrunning. I like having good mental and just good support from people you care for. Like
I feel very lucky to be where I am in terms of like I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the stress of like my parents not approving of like the speedrun life that I live, of like going to these conventions and like trying to do all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
wish I
for
could
sure.
say the same.
Yeah.
Is it true, JJ, that your first SMS record was at 17?
That sounds correct, which is a funny story to it. I think my first SMS world record was in a category called all episodes, which is just
Ooh.
getting every episode 1 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
I was either 16 or 17, but it was very early on. And it was held by a runner named Leviton, who was like my greatest inspiration for like improving and getting better, because he was the king of consistency. That was just who he
Ooh.
was. And I just wanted to be like, I watched his play style, I'm like, that's who I want to be. And I beat his world record by like 1 second, and I was so
Oh my
happy.
god.
I was like, there's no way. I looked up this person. I can't believe I beat him. It was great. And then I went to bed that night. It was like not even 24 hours go by, and I get a tweet, or I'm like streaming, and I see a message saying Leviton just beat your record by 4 minutes, and I'm like, he did what?
Ain't no way. Oh my god.
I was like, oh my god, and Leviton just like crushed all of my hopes and dreams, but that just
Yeah.
like motivated me to get better. But that was just
keep going, yeah.
that was such like a
a reality check of like I still have a ways to go. This like I thought that was like a world record, but then I found out like no one runs that category. So like when Leviton put effort in and actually tried to run it and got a 4-minute faster time, I was like, oh, I actually have a ways to go. I still have a lot to improve on.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also seeing apparently you got an 80% record while you were drugged up on pain meds.
Yeah, there's a lot with that. I've had a very interesting speedrun career, where I had to get oral surgery,
Damn.
for like it was like braces. Like I had very crooked teeth. It was just not even my fault, but I was just extremely unlucky.
Mhm.
But I got oral surgery and I went to bed and I was just feeling miserable. And I'm laying in bed and I'm like, these pain meds are so strong. I don't feel pain at all. I just feel tired. And then I'm like, I think I was like in bed, like watching some speedrun. I have no idea who it was. I think it was like Trey or something. And I was like, if I'm just laying in bed, I can sit in a chair. So I sat down in my chair, and picked up my controller, and just like started playing. And I think I played for like 12 hours with like no care in the world. Because like I just had zero emotion, zero anything, and I'm just playing. And I finally got a run that got the world record, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I got it. And so many people like joke about it of like, is this even allowed? He was on like performance enhancements because he didn't get nervous. Like, is this legal? Like he didn't even know
Steroids
he
and
didn't even
speedrunning.
yeah. He didn't even know that he got the world record, but I was like joking around about it, but
Yo,
it was
that's
a
that's
crazy
crazy.
experience. But it was during, in my opinion, like my favorite era of Sunshine, where it was me and Ouija, and we were just grinding runs every single day, just trading world records back and forth. Because we were the two people who were able to beat Dede, like his super long world record. So it was me and Ouija who were the first ones to stop him, and we were trading records back and forth, and a bunch of other runners started joining as well.
Yeah. Do you think Ouija will ever come back to Sunshine?
Talked to him about it a lot. I don't think so, because the consensus that we came to is like he's doing really good and really happy with the friends that he made in 64, and he's doing a lot better just like mentally and overall. And I think he just wants to stay with that. He has made some returns to Sunshine. Like he would spend like a week playing or something and get some good runs going, but he just like he feels a lot happier with 64. And I can't speak fully to it because that's him as a person, but I just know that he's doing a lot better with 64. He did an interview at Pace, and I watched his interview as well, and he was talking a lot about that as well. But it was, he and I are still like really good friends, and we catch up every once in a while. We see each other at Pace, but like he goes off and hangs with the 64 people. I hang with the SMS and Multi Mario people, but like we still, like whenever he comes back, like I update him on like the strats that happen. I'll send him like my splits, like they can compare again. So we still go back and forth like that. But it was just the nostalgia era. It was it's when we were all growing up, because we were all like the little kids of like speedrunning. So we were all growing up just being in a call and just playing, especially like when we were very early on, like high school and everything. Like high school, we just go to school, barely care at all, because high school doesn't really mean as much as long as you get into your college. So we're just speedrunning for like 9 hours when we get back, and it's great. And we just are in our world of trying to beat each other. And I think that was such a great thing too, because we had all of these rivalries of trying to beat each other's times. It wasn't about getting the world record. It was just trying to be better than everyone else in our little group.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I tried to like get into like I watched speedruns as young as like I want to say 12, maybe 13. But and throughout like high school I would watch speedruns and like, you know, play like Mario 64 and Sunshine and all that stuff, but I didn't really start getting into it until once COVID happened. Because the thing is, my parents are like very strict. So it was like if they asked me to do something, I had to go do it. No, I had to stop whatever I was doing to go do it. So like I didn't have time to do a speed run, and I was afraid that say if I got into like a 70-star run in 64 or an 80% run in Sunshine, they would make me stop in the middle of it and do something or whatever. So I just never bothered, because like, you know, speedruns aren't really valid if you pause them, like, or at least the non-TA ones. They're not valid if you pause the run in the middle and go do something. Like, you can't do that. So I never bothered. Once COVID hit though, there was a lot It's mainly like after they moved out and I was on my own for a bit.
Mhm.
I had a lot more time to, like, aside from work, to really sit down and do a run that I wanted to do. So, yeah, I started off with 64, and then I kind of stay like that for a bit, and then now I'm just a multi Mario runner. Like I just do
Yeah.
everything, even outside of the multi Mario games. Like I'll do New Soup, the Paper Mario series, even Sonic games. Like I've just been doing everything now because now I have the opportunity to. I'm old enough to where I can do that stuff now, and I don't have to worry about people breathing down my neck every time. So I don't know. I wish my speedrun career started earlier, but I am glad that it started when it started because I still got to meet cool people like you and Joey and
Yeah.
all of our group, of course. So it's I don't know. It was kind of worth.
I think it's really good. Like, just I'm lucky that I did start young because trying
Mhm.
to do speedruns now is so difficult with college. Like, that's the
Mhm.
main thing that like I'm
Yeah,
noticing is like
adulthood is hard.
it is very difficult. I feel lucky that like, I'm happy that I'm at the point with Sunshine where like I don't need to put that much practice in. It's just
Mhm.
can I get the run with good RNG and I don't get nervous. That's like where
Yeah,
I am at currently. So I am able like once I finish up my classes, I could just do a few runs and just throw runs into the wall and just see if I get something. And that's what I've been
right.
able to do, especially with work starting up now, is like I could just continue doing runs but I missed the feeling of improvement. I had a few weeks between before my job started and when I finished this year at college where I only grinded 120 shines and the feeling of improvement in that just felt amazing. And
Yeah.
I forgot how fun that felt of just like getting PBs and just feeling really easy improvement because in Sunshine I PB'd 3 days ago and before that my last PB was 10 months ago.
Oh my
So
Mm.
god.
that I was just like stuck for so long, and the PB I just got was by a second, but I still am just like I'm chipping away at it slowly.
That's what happened with me in Super Paper Mario. I like grinded that game for so long in 2022, and then I just couldn't find time because any percent runs are long in that game, and it took me so long to PB. I think like I got my first PB in like 2 years, and then I got another PB during our Paper Mario relay. So it was like it
Yeah.
felt so good to get that after so long. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. I feel like once you get to a certain skill level in a game, like maybe top 10, maybe even top 3, it's kind of just extremely difficult to PB at that point.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
it starts getting like
going
one
back
I
mistake, you know.
yeah, going back to like even Odyssey. Like Tyron, I think he just got a record of like 5606.
yeah, yeah,
Um I didn't realize that his sob is only 5530 something.
yeah,
He's so
Crazy how
close
close
to
he
the
is to
sum
it.
of best.
Yeah,
You can only improve
crazy.
so much after that
Right.
if you don't learn like whatever the BTT strats are, because I think the BTT is down to
yeah.
like 52, 53.
I think that's like one of those things where like I'm jealous kind of like Odyssey and 64 is like SMS doesn't have that. We're on our own. Like
Mm-hmm.
64
Oh
has
man.
like the Usamune like ideal run stuff. Like
Yeah.
Odyssey has the BTT.
It's
SMS like we feel so locked right now. Like we are so dried out with strats and like 112 is the final minute barrier. There's no
You
more
think
than
so?
that. Like unless there's something new that is found, but it's not like SM64 where like we know we can go further. Like with Odyssey, we know we
mhm.
can go further if we learn these crazy strats. SMS there really is none of that.
I thought
Like
It's hard
someone
to tell. I think it's kind of blurry with Sunshine. Yeah.
I thought
What were we saying?
what the hell is why is the Alexa going off? I thought someone had like a 109 sum of best.
no. The best we have is like a high 110.
High 110. Okay, well that means 111
Jeez.
is possible. It'll just be really
Yeah,
hard.
It's
like it
just like
is, but it's like
play
yeah, let's get
absolutely perfect.
SMS also has an obscene amount of RNG, so you have to consider that as
Oh
well.
god.
Yeah,
King Boo fight anybody?
is that the com sub? High 110?
Yeah, I think it's like a 110 4x or something. I could look it up right now, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I think that the one outlier in like the 3D Mario series for any percent is really um Galaxy 2, or I guess the two outliers, but I call them one because they're kind of the same game.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay,
Do not do that. You know what happens.
They're like, they're kind of like they're attached in a way, you could say. But
of course.
like look at we'll say 70 stars, like the 90% for 64. It's a 40 what 6? Yeah, 46. Fine.
It's a good mid 46. Yeah.
Sunshine 1 to 12. Fine. Odyssey 56. Fine. Galaxy 2 are both like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
They're really
Galaxy
long.
2 is like a 2.5x right now. I think.
It's 2.5x.
And then
And Galaxy 1 is like a
1 is 2.1x.
Yeah.
220, I think.
Oh yeah.
22010. Yeah.
220 for G1.
Yeah, 220.
No, I think that's Mario.
Well, that's Mario.
Oh, for Mario. I think for Luigi it's like
213.
yeah,
That's worth co-star.
213 for Luigi co-star. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still like
It's still
In
super
3D World
long.
and Odyssey. 3D World is like 2x, and then Odyssey is like what was it, a 55 or 56?
it was just so
56.
crazy that like it sort of proves like back in like 2019 or I guess 2016 2017 like Ndende's record stood for like over 2 years and
That's
no one
crazy.
could come close to him. Like he was just so far ahead of everyone else, and like that just goes to show the same thing with like the 113.44 when he got that like
Mhm.
it just stood for so long. Which like there are some runners who do go above and beyond, and it just takes forever for people to catch up to it. But now that we're caught up, where it's like, where do we go from here? Like we still can improve. Like I would say my potential for like a run is like a 112 3x. Inkstar could probably get a 2x or a 1x, but if you want to get a 111, like it would have to be playing to that skill level, and every single RNG goes literally perfectly.
Mhm. Are you able to
Yeah.
explain to me why there are so many anonymous people on the leaderboard?
I can go to like a yes and no type of thing. Basically, like the TLDR is they got banned for a lot of like transphobia,
okay.
homophobia,
Oh,
racism.
okay. Yeesh.
Yikes.
It was like it was like a 20-page document of like every single thing that they did. It was bad.
Oh my god.
That's wild. Yeesh.
But I'll go a little bit into it because one of the runners, his name was Guy, and he was the best runner by far. And it wasn't close. He was the fastest. He had the game just solved. He had like a 113.16 back in 2021.
Mhm.
And he died in Corona in that run. So it could have been the 112.
Oh wow.
Oh jeez.
So he was at a 112 level while the next closest was Dide's 113.44 and like my 113.58.
Mhm.
No one else was close. But
That's crazy.
now that like
Okay.
we like caught up and passed him. But more along to that, like when the runners got banned and everything, they took down all their videos. So we had like no information to go off of in terms of like how they were
Oh.
so fast, their individual
Wow.
level times, everything. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were
nothing to work with,
we were just like
basically, yeah.
completely lost because the moderators rushed out the documents, so they didn't like reserve enough of the footage that was really needed. Like
Yeah.
they reserved some of like their IL times, but not like the strats that they do in runs, and we were very lost on that for such a long time. But then Inkstar sort of came along, and he was working on optimizing the game a lot, and he did a lot in terms of bringing the game back to being as optimal as it is.
Mhm.
Because I'm not someone who finds like new optimal strats. I sort of just find make the optimal strats more consistent for me, and that's sort of the playstyle that I've had. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that
I
makes sense.
except for or I guess I see, I'm looking at the stats page right now on speedrun.com, and I see
Yeah.
Nindide's 114.40 that stood for 2 years. But I also see an anonymous 16 who stood from, it was a 113.17, and it stood from
Yeah.
July 31st, 2021 to August 9th, 2023, when you took it with a 113.08.
yeah, because initially that run was just completely removed. because there was a lot of community votes of being like we didn't want just like an anonymous person being at the top of the leaderboard. Like we didn't want to go through the drama of saying like they're a band runner, but they still are the fastest. Like there was a lot of like back and forth, and we knew that this fastest run exists. So that run got removed, and the record was a 1:13.44, which I beat with the 1:13.30. And that stood for a very, very long time. And then an entire school year went by, and it hit the next summer, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and improve this even lower. So it's me, Tobo, and Inkstar with the goal of trying to beat the anonymous 1:13.17, which Tobo ended up tying, and then I ended up beating.
That's crazy.
Is that why it has the milliseconds on it?
Yeah, because there were 3 1:13.17s, like with Tobos as well.
Really? Okay.
So it was crazy for a while, but yeah.
Right. That's crazy. I didn't know. Because I know on some leaderboards they just didn't want to use SRC. I know that was an issue with the Zelda leaderboards a while back when people were still using ZeldaSpeedrun.com. Some people just did not like speedrun.com and didn't want to use it, so they said, you can put my runs on there, keep me anonymous, I don't want to be on there. But I think all of them are pretty much migrated to speedrun.com just because it's so upkept more than every other speedrun site.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of why websites like SDA, SRL, and Twin Galaxies are so obsolete now, I guess, because SRC came along and just it was so much better.
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. I mean, every once in a while they'll release an update that everyone hates, but then the sort of gets cleaned up after a while. Like when they redid the overlay or something, like everyone hated it initially. There were a lot of things that were wrong with it, but I think they put in a lot of effort to try and fix it and make it better.
Yeah, they definitely have. I really didn't like what happened with the site when Pac stepped down and then Elo took over. Because they added so many ads. I swear, I thought I had.
Oh, I remember that.
The ads.
I thought I had
crazy.
some kind of malware on my PC that just added ads. But you can remove those with an ad blocker. Luckily, well, I've heard you can remove those with an ad blocker.
Nah, bro.
But there's also the supporter thing, which what does it do? You can get ad-free, you can boost the community.
Yeah.
And then some other weird things. But, I don't know. There something about, like, 2017 through 2019 SRC, that was, like, the time.
I agree.
There's this new wave of speedrunners coming in ever since COVID, I think.
I think that was just the main thing, and it was perfect for I would say me because like as a runner who like has been playing for 3-4 years but just didn't have time. COVID unlocked that time, and I was just able to play so much.
Yeah, really same.
Yeah. Granted, when COVID hit, the only speedrun I was doing was the Henry Stickmin collection, which is just
I was doing like
GIF.
I think I was doing 64. I was doing like 64, and then I did like net 64 runs with like what would end up to be our group, like a very small, and then like if I wasn't speedrunning that, I was just playing a bunch of Animal Crossing and Minecraft. Like that was what it was during COVID. It was a time for sure.
Yeah. There's this new wave of speedrunners that's coming in, where they're around like 13 to 15, I think. People born in the 2010s, essentially.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm seeing a lot more Roblox games making to the top 10 of the most active games.
There are a few that like I've dabbled in. One was like Speedrun 4.
I'm a moderator for that.
Yeah. Me and Luigi grinded that for like 2 weeks or something. And like they're back in 2019, and we were optimizing it. I held the world record, I think, for about 5 minutes because when I got the world record, Ouija was on his run, and that he beat my time, and I was like, oh, I guess.
Can you imagine that?
That's happened, I think, another time before in a large game. That happened in Minecraft too.
Yeah.
Um,
And then nowadays, or like recently, Inkstar and I, we were doing like Obby on a bike for a little bit because that,
Obby on
or
a
like
Bike is crazy.
Obby on a bike is such a banger game.
It's such a bad game, but the speedrun looks so cool.
The entire speedrun is just like don't hit anything. That's the entire goal.
You
They
just
keep getting
jump
faster
and then
faster.
jump and rotate your bike in such a way so that you land and are able to jump again.
Yeah.
It's such a weird run. And there's also
Something else I.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please, I insist.
No, finish it because I wanted to segue into something else. But go ahead. Finish.
Okay. I was gonna say, have you ever heard of this Ultra Kill game?
No.
It's the #1 game on Zero.com right now, and I have no clue what it is. And I've never looked into it. It kind of looks like it reminds me of RoboBeat, maybe, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know why it has so many players.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know any of these. I think that's just like you branch outside of like Mario, and there's a whole era of people who speedrun other games that I just don't even know who exist.
I also think
I remember
why.
I remember Subway Surfers dominated the leaderboard.
There was 20,000 active players on Subway Surfers. Because it's not a speedrun. You can just upload a video and then submit it and they'd accept it.
Yeah, it's one of those games where it's the longer you're like, it's like more of a score thing. Like the higher your score, the better you are instead of a time. There are certain games that do that, but it's like pretty rare.
I'm still happy to see that Celeste is doing as well as it is, because Celeste I think is just like the perfect speed game in my opinion.
No RNG at all.
No RNG. It was made by speedrunners for the intention of speedrunning. Like it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it does make me pretty proud that the Roblox speedrunning community that I started is #2 right now. Tower Defense Simulator.
Wait, what in the world? I was looking at Celeste. The world record is a minute ahead of second place.
Dude,
that's ridiculous.
Secure account is insane at the game. He is the most like dominant player of any top game, I think, even over like Tyron.
This just
Secure account is an entirely
this run and look through it.
Entirely
I can flex like when Celeste came out, I was top 20. And I think now that exact same run is like 600th.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the world record has improved so much. I remember back when the record was a 35 and now it's a 24.
Yeah,
I also wanted to.
Oh, I don't. Actually, I do. Oh, it's 1089th. Okay.
Jesus.
Wow. Oh my god.
I also wanted to touch on talk about the younger generation of speedrunners. I also noticed that they're a little bit more like toxic. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I kind of noticed that, like, especially with like the more recent released games.
I don't think it's them. I think it's more of just like. This is gonna sound like the most broad thing ever, but I think it's more of like a society thing in terms of like TikTok.
We
and
live in a society.
Yeah.
Zoomer type of thing, like things.
That's probably that's true.
It's just like real. It's quote like infecting the minds, I guess, because like I look at the stuff that they post and they're sending. I'm like, I was a 13-year-old speedrunner and I was never like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I've scrolled through my old messages and I'm like, I was never like this. I was never this disrespectful or toxic. Or anything.
It like I've seen it in some game. I remember seeing it in like a screenshot that one of our friends posted like a while ago in Odyssey's Discord, and I'm like, oh my god, like what? Like it's crazy. I don't think I've seen it in Wonder, but I don't really look in the Wonder Discord anymore. I did when it first like dropped, but then like after a while I was like, never mind.
Even me, I felt like I was the fucking worst kid ever. I started speedrunning at 11.
Bro.
I started with a game called Kindergarten in 2017, but even then, I wasn't. I'm not as toxic as some of these people in like the Mario Wonder community.
Oh, yeah, the Mario Wonder thing is insane. I left that Discord, I think, day 3 or something.
And Joey can
attest, dude, I checked out.
He's like the moderator.
I checked out that Discord. I think I went in that Discord. I think around the time that it dropped, and like within like 3 to 4 days, I stopped checking that Discord. I was like, Bro, I can't be in here. This is ridiculous.
I
It's
sort of feel
insane.
bad because like Wonder was such a good game, and I think it still
Yeah.
is such a great game. But it was just overwhelmed by the fact that like I just did not enjoy it as a speed game. That like I've just forgotten about it.
Mhm.
But it's still
I
like if I had a group of
yeah.
friends, I would want to play through that game again. Like
Yeah, for
The
sure.
hype of that game dropped so hard like a rock. It was ridiculous. Like I remember everyone talking about it and like it was like, "Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy." And like a lot of people speedrunning it. Like I did runs of it of ours while it was still called any percent. And then like after like a couple of weeks it was just like
Gone.
you don't hear anyone talk about it anymore. It's ridiculous. It kind of sucks
yeah.
cuz that game was fun like when it first dropped, but
It was.
I
I
just
don't really
don't
see
know
many people
It's
talk
what
still
about it
the
pretty
problem
fun.
with it was. Yeah, it's still really fun. Like I would still play it again, and it's
Yeah.
great. Like I still have to 100% it. I just beat it. I got close to
Mhm.
100%ing it, but I just missed like a bunch of like the big purple coins, and I was like, I have to go back through them.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, really, Joey? That's
you
crazy.
for a month and they took away. Oh, that sucks. Wonder like I've said this on a few podcasts before, so I won't dwindle on it for too long. But it's dead for like 3 reasons, and I'll just go through them quickly again. It's because people were pirating the game and playing it before it came out. It's because of the community being super toxic. It's because of any percent. And then fourth reason that I think it was Swag that told us last podcast. He said, or maybe not Swag, but someone else. They said that Jay was the largest runner, and people were
It was Swag.
It was Swag. Okay,
Yeah.
he was
Mhm.
like everyone was watching Jay because Jay's like a popular speedrunner no matter what game he's playing.
Yeah.
And so the viewer base for Wonder was on him because he is the largest
Because he
runner.
was running it.
And then as soon as he stopped.
Now that he's not running it,
Yeah.
no one's watching it.
Once he was like, I'm gonna go back to Galaxy. Everyone was like, oh, okay, I guess we're watching Galaxy now, and they all went and followed him to Galaxy. So
Yeah.
it just kind of.
Yeah, so it's dead for 4 different reasons. I still think it's a good speed game. I still want to try it eventually, but
I think
So,
I might
yeah,
give it
80%.
another shot now that there's like more resources and people have played it more. Because like I enjoy the feeling of when it's a brand new speed game and trying to find all these new shots. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But I like just knowing what I need to do so I can optimize it myself.
yeah.
Right.
I really don't like any percent either.
The discovery of any percent was at the worst time because around the time it got discovered, the game got an update. I think about a week after it was discovered, the game got an update,
That
and it patched all of that stuff. And most people didn't think, "Hey, let's not update our game." So most people got screwed over. So now they can't do any percent because of it. And it's
back
just
to
like
the
I think that's
Odyssey
what.
stuff again.
Yeah, like it was just not. It was just not good. I was one of those people that updated, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I guess that's it. Because like ours was what any percent was before they found all that stuff, and I was fine with that. And then any percent was with the map stuff, and like I don't hate on the people who do any percent because it's a pretty cool category. I just really don't like the map stuff. It's like it's all right, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Royal
It was
Seeds,
fun
I
playing
really
through
All of the
everything.
Seeds was really fun. I do enjoy
Yeah,
it.
ours is a great category.
I
I
really think that should
really
be the default
enjoy playing through all the levels. Yeah, I love playing through all the worlds and the levels.
I was just not
really
good
fun.
and it felt too long. That was just my 2 downsides of it.
It is a pretty long
yeah.
speed game. There's
like-
no like
I have
warp zones or
It's
anything.
like 2 hours ish.
I think
average
that's
around
kind
2
of the
hours.
problem with All Royal Seeds, and maybe that's another reason why it's dead now. Because All Royal Seeds is really long, and other 2D games like the new Soup games, they have warp zones, and Wonder doesn't.
I'm pretty sure all new Soup games can be beaten in under an hour.
Yes,
I'm
they
pretty
can.
sure.
The
It's
thing of
ridiculous.
just like the 2 levels just have so many levels. It's not as easy to optimize compared to like the long Galaxy games. Like those you can optimize much more because they're 3D Mario games.
Mhm. But they structured it like 3D World in a sense. It's like 3D World with like I say that because it's more structured as a 3D game, but it's not actually a 3D game.
Yeah.
But it's like technically speaking, like on a casual level, they require you to get all the seeds to beat the game. While technically you only need seeds 4, 5, and 6, but in a casual sense, you would need all of them to even reach the last section of the game, which I could see why people wouldn't really like that as much, which is probably why people prefer 80% over that. And that's why new speedrunning is a little more popular because, again, warp zones are a thing. You don't have to play through all 8 worlds to beat the game. At most you're playing 3 worlds.
Yeah, I tried Wonder at one point,
or at least.
And I could only get 2 worlds in before I was like, this speedrun's gonna be so long. I picked up New Soup 2 in a night, not only because I had to, but I played it even after that night. We were doing a new Super Mario Bros. Marathon, the JLB crew.
Failed, unfortunately.
Unfortunately failed. But no one was there to do New Soup 2, so I had to jump in at the last second. Yeah. And it's such a fun game to run. Like, weirdly.
New Soup games are fun to run.
Yeah. Despite really how much flack they get, because they're just rinse and repeat 4 times. Or I guess 3 times if you don't.
I like them. I didn't like that statement that people were saying of just like, oh, it's just so repetitive, it's so boring. Like, I just like that style of game. Those are fun 2D Mario games that made my childhood.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true,
I love all 4 of the games. New Soup 2
I'll be honest, though,
one of my favorite games.
I don't like, and this is I feel like, I don't know if people agree or disagree. I don't know where people stand when it comes to the U titles, but I like Luigi U more than Mario U.
I think it comes as a speedrunner sense, and it's all these really short levels. I think that's just the main reason for it.
I did 100%. Yeah, I did a 100% run, and it took. I just got my first one was like, I think 5 hours, and by the time my third run hit, I'm already on a sub 3. Like, it's such a fun game to run through. It is. New Luigi U is very fun. It's probably one of my favorites of the games. I would say it'd be top 3 within the 5 games that we have. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I really wonder what I imagine how do I get around that word? I wonder what they're going to do after Wonder. Are they going to do Wonder in terms of 2D Mario? Are they gonna do another Wonder? Are they gonna go back to New Super? I really hope they don't. Are they gonna call it New Super Mario Bros. Wonder? That would be crazy. But
I don't know if it's a good idea for them to follow up on Wonder. I think Wonder should be its own one-time thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's how it'll shine. That's why a lot of people don't like the New Soup games as much, because they feel that it's rinse and repeat. It's 4 games within a 6 years span, which is ridiculous, by the way. That's just insane.
I think it makes sense if they went back to this, because the reason why people loved Wonder so much was because it was different. Because it was just a new thing. The art style was beautiful. The animations were great.
I think if they spread out the New Soup games more, I think people would like them a lot more, because it's to a point where 2 of the games were released about on the same year with literal months from each other, which is 2 and like
ROM hack-esque of just it's just the same game, but here's some more levels and pay $60 for it.
Yeah.
And that's why people really didn't enjoy it. And I think that's why I kind of like the handheld games a little more, like DS and 2, because I don't know, they just kind of felt more unique in that sense, especially DS. DS was like crazy in terms of concept.
I love DS.
I think New Super would be much more highly regarded if they didn't release 2 in 1 year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they released.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
In the span of not even just a year. It was a span of a few months. I think that they.
It's a few months. It was 2 first, and then U right after.
Yeah, 2 and then U. If they waited, if they did, when was DS? DS was like 2006.
2006 for 2009 for Wii, and then 2012 for both the.
If they just did
for both 2 and U.
If they did 2 in 2012, and then imagine they waited until the Switch came out for. I guess it would not be NSMBU at that point. It would be NSMB 3. But
I think it's because I think what it was is that they wanted, because the 3DS and Wii U came out so close to each other, they wanted to have the 2D games and plus I'm pretty sure they were already using the New Super U's engine to make Mario Maker. So I don't. It was it was really weird. I kind of wish that they waited on New Super U. They should have released it a little later in the Wii U's lifespan, but it is unfortunate because the Wii U didn't last very long, because the Switch came out not too long after Mario Maker. So
I think that was another
it
reason
was
that the Wii U
yeah.
kind of failed, because wasn't New Soup U one of the launch titles?
I think it was. Yeah, it definitely was.
And
That was because their entire gimmick of that game was like the boost mode where you could like tap on the
Mhm.
gamepad.
and I'll be
If it wasn't
completely
launched, it was
honest.
extremely early.
I'll be completely honest. New Super Mario Bros. Isn't going to sell consoles because they have 3 other games on 3 other
Exactly.
consoles,
Yeah,
and they just had released one.
yeah.
And
We had three, no, four. We had four mainline Mario entries within 2 years.
yeah,
That's 3D Land, New Soup 2, New Soup U, and then 3D World. That's a lot within 2 years.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that's why people didn't like the 3D series games, 3D Land and World that much either, because they were released so close to each other, on top of the New Soup games,
Yeah, I need to
which is
read
unfortunate
3D
because they're
Land. I
solid.
think
3D
people
Land is
love
so
3D Land.
underrated.
Yeah.
It's a solid
I love
game.
3D
I love it.
World. I think that game's great. I love the movement.
Oh
That
yeah,
feels
dude.
so
I
good.
remember, I remember playing 3D World or 3D Land, like, and I had so much fun. And then I see the trailer for 3D World, and I'm like, 4 players? Like, this is crazy. Like, it was like a shock to me. You could play, like, this was like the first game where the first player didn't have to play as Mario in a mainline game. Like,
Yeah.
because the Wii and Wii U,
Yeah.
you were locked to Mario as player one. Like, player one had to be Mario. But like in 3D World, you could play as Peach if you wanted as player one. Like, there were so many cool options, and like returning power ups like the leaf and then the cat suit was pretty sick. And the fact that like that was also the first game to have 4 player co-op in the main story. That was huge. That was really cool. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know. I thought that was. Oh, that's not true because New Soup did. But I think the first 3D game to have multiplayer like that, I'd say. But I thought I don't know. It was a crazy game, and I still love it. It's one of my favorites still.
New Soup U, I think, is it was very underrated for its time. I think now it's good because it came out on Switch and then everyone bought it. But for its time, it was definitely an underrated game. And because it was thrown in with everything else that was being released at the time, because they were just shoving Mario down your throat.
Yeah, it was so much to chew on. Like, there was
Yeah.
so much.
When
Like,
they were doing the consoles and the handhelds, not only for games but also just in terms of releasing the consoles, I think that now that they're just doing one console, the Switch, I think that
Yeah.
they've kind of found their rhythm.
Yeah, I'm glad that they made a hybrid. I think like that I think that's what was needed because constantly making another entry in DS family or the handheld family and then another entry on that was just doing too much because again, we run into the problem of now we have a mainline Mario and Mario Kart on one system, and then we have mainline Mario and Mario Kart on the other. And it's like it got to a point where even games like Smash 3DS and Wii U had to combine because it was just too much.
Yeah.
Like it was
I like the
a
DS
lot.
game, or like just having a DS. Like especially like as a kid, like on the bus going to school, and everyone like played games on
Oh
the
yeah.
DS. Like there's like a nostalgia
UCDS.
aspect of that, but now it makes sense of just
Oh, I'll be right back.
Sure.
You
the
guys can go.
Switch consoles and
Sure.
the like whatever console's gonna come out next. I'm not sure if it's gonna continue being like this hybrid type. Like if it's just gonna be a Switch 2, which is gonna be with better specs and it's just
Yeah.
gonna look better.
They have when they talk about the next console, they do call it a successor to the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
I don't know if that just means
Switch
because
U.
they also oh my god, but they also did call the Switch the successor to the Wii U.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means it's going to be completely different, but I think Nintendo would be stupid not to make a Switch 2 or a successor, just because the Switch has already done so well.
The Switch has done really well. I think the only problem is like just it needs to be able to run better to compete with like other consoles.
It doesn't even need to run just as
Hybrid.
good as other consoles because that's becoming more and more clear that graphics isn't selling consoles now.
No, that's
we're
yeah,
talking
and
about
I 100% agree because everyone's talking about like these super crazy realistic graphics, but they just announced like the Mario and Luigi game or whatever, and that game looks beautiful.
The cell shading on that is crazy. I
and it's
love
like
it.
you don't need to
Oh my
make
God.
like live action realistic graphics. It can just be this funny animated type of game, and it looks great.
Yeah.
People are talking about how the
Well, the thing is,
PS6 is gonna have like graphics that'll be synonymous to real life. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, why? No, who plays video games to have those crazy graphics to where it's basically like that's like I don't understand that. Like that's why a lot of
Every
people are more
once in a
attached to.
while, it is
Yeah.
kind of cool. Like games like Elden Ring, that makes
That's-
sense.
yeah.
That game
Yeah.
like is meant to be like the super realistic
Yeah,
type of thing. That's cool, but that should not be the goal for every single game that exists.
but that's why franchises like Mario and Sonic and Kirby are so popular because they're colorful worlds with cartoon characters. That's what video games really should be. I feel like, and unless there's a specific goal to it, like there's no reason why say if they made like another Crash game, you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna see like the Empire State Building in the next game and it's gonna be the actual thing. Like, why am I looking at that?
Yeah.
There's no reason. But that's why there are certain like I said, like the Mario and Luigi game, it's so hyped because
It's so
you know, could you imagine if they use realistic graphics for that game? People would hate it.
yeah.
Like it just doesn't. Like when people go like online and like in general, they boast about how the PS5 has these crazy graphics. Like, oh, Nintendo, you guys don't have that. It's just like you don't need graphics to have a good game. I mean, look at Wii for example. The
Yeah.
Wii's graphics were taken straight from the GameCube, and there's some bangers on there, like Galaxy, Mario Kart Wii, like very good-looking games. They still look good, but they play well. And I feel like that, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have a really good playing game, a game that has good gameplay, than a graphically insane game because stuff can go
Yeah.
wrong with that sort of stuff.
I think Odyssey is where they struck
Yeah,
gold.
true, super.
I think that's like the pinnacle of how high they can make their graphics before it becomes too much for
Yeah.
in terms of like realistic or realism. That's the word I'm thinking.
I was gonna mention earlier that I think before I forgot, one of my favorite games aesthetically is Sunshine, weirdly enough. I love the locations of the game. Like, yes, a lot of the locations are mainly just beaches and water,
Mhm.
but the way they handle it is, I don't know, I think it's genius. I like that Sunshine has like the only sense of actual world building. Like, I don't see that in any other Mario.
Other levels, like
Yeah.
in the stage, like you can see Pinna Park from Gelato Beach. You can see like Serena Beach from Pinna Park. You can see all the levels.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I kind of wish they did that with Odyssey too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, they call me the Sunshine hater, but something about that game, other than the gameplay, is just so cool. And I
It's a
wish
pretty game.
I think that what's the hub world called in
Delfino Plaza.
Delfino Plaza? I think they should do that again. I hated the
Mhm.
way you go between worlds in Odyssey. I think
Galaxy 2
Yeah.
has that problem too. I
Galaxy
don't really
2 as
like
well.
the way.
and
I don't like having a
Galaxies-
world map in a 3D game.
Galaxies was
I-
fine, I guess.
Mhm.
I think Sunshine, they should do more of that, and 64, that one was fine, I guess. But Sunshine, I think, is what they should strive for. That
Galaxy's hub world is pretty hot too. I liked Comet Observatory a lot.
that
It was really fun, for sure.
that feeling of where you're pretty much in a level and you're going into another level from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Comet Observatory, like, even though like it's not the same as Sunshine, it makes the most sense for a Galaxy-esque where you go.
Right.
This
Like-
observatory is your home.
right.
your-
Forest aesthetic. Yeah, because you're in space, and the only way to get to other galaxies, you have to. Well, I guess in this case, you use the launch star to go to those other galaxies because this is like the hub for that.
Yeah.
Like Rosalina has that technology for you to be able to go to those galaxies. So in terms of lore and story, that actually makes sense. I don't like the way they did it with Galaxy 2, but Galaxy 2 got robbed because a lot of people apparently like the team had some like problems with the making of that game. Like apparently we were supposed to get an even like deeper connection with Rosalina's story, but apparently Lubba was the was the result of that. So we now only see Rosalina barely in G2 as
Yeah.
opposed to her constantly in G1. So G2, I think games going after G2 is what I like to call the quote unquote G2 effect, where the story takes a large back seat over the gameplay and like just the classic Mario as you know it, and jumping around, grabbing stars, like stuff like that. Like G2 does that, 3D World does that. Not really. I think Odyssey they were trying to lead towards an actual story in Odyssey as well, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most games really took on that G2 effect where it was just classic platforming as you know it, and that's not really a bad thing. But I don't know. I do like the whole idea of hub worlds. I think hub worlds are a great addition to especially 3D Mario games. Like I said, I don't like world maps that much, especially if it's a game that like a 3D game like Odyssey or Galaxy 2, it just doesn't really make sense for it. Like I guess for Odyssey it kind of does because of the whole Odyssey thing, like you're literally flying to another part of the world, but I don't know. I kind of wish they made it so that you actually traveled because like Odyssey, the whole thing was centered around the globe. So it's like it would have been nice to actually physically travel to those places instead of just, a loading screen to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Honestly, I'd kind of like to see a 3D Luigi game that isn't Luigi's Mansion.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Like maybe not
I think
Odyssey-esque.
it's hard because like Luigi's Mansion's like become like the Luigi game. Like that's just his thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's his whole
it'd be
representation.
cool like on the
yeah.
Switch too that they announced Luigi's Mansion before. That'd be kind of hype. Like
Yeah.
I've had this
because they've done so many remakes of Luigi's Mansion. Like obviously they made Luigi's Mansion 3, and that game was good. And I think it proves that the game was good because that's like what Luigi's meant to do. He's meant to be the guy who sucks up ghosts in his vacuum.
I have this like underlying feeling that once this HD port of 2 comes out, that I think they'll be done with Luigi's Mansion.
That could also be a part of it.
I kind of hope it's not. I think that they should release Luigi's Mansion 4. But
it's also hard to tell too because it's hard to tell as well because this is a pretty crazy gap between the games and it's consistent too. The first game came out as a launch title for GameCube, but then the second game came out like 10 years later? Not even like more than that on the 3DS, and then Luigi's Mansion 3 coming out in 2019. So it's like I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Also,
the gaps are weird.
Can I say 2HD looks so bad?
Well, it's hard to go from 3DS to Switch and make it look like the quote unquote exact same.
Yeah. I kind of wish they did use some of the assets from 3 though. Like that would have been cool if they did that because they clearly weren't afraid to do that for the new Zelda game coming out because they took those aesthetics straight out of Link's Awakening Switch remake.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to see like if they used that.
I've only played Luigi's Mansion 1, but I still love that game so much. I think that game was just so well made.
And Luigi, the Luigi's Mansion 1 remake for 3DS, it used the assets from 2.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
So I don't know, like, what happened.
Yeah, thinking about like that makes sense.
It's not like, you can tell that the models are clearly refined. They clearly had some polish done because, the 3DS only had like GameCube level graphics.
Yeah.
And the Switch has vastly better than that. But everything looks so, I hate to say smooth because that makes it sound good. But everything looks so toyish.
Lucky, maybe?
Plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 3 it looked fine. Everything looked great in 3. I just don't get it really. They must have had one of their teams do it instead of Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
Likely, yeah.
I also wonder what teams do in Mario and Luigi.
True.
I saw something today that said the original creators are involved, so Alpha Dream is involved somehow. But I wonder who the main developers are, because it can't be just them. It must be It might
I
just
need
be
to
Nintendo.
go on a full playthrough of the Mario and Luigi games because I've heard so many great things about them. I've never played a single one.
I just
They're so
I just
fire.
started Superstar Saga, and it is so good so
Yeah,
far.
I'm
They're
probably gonna
so
start it because
good.
I have it on my Wii U, so I'm probably gonna play it on that.
Yeah.
It's like those games have that charm, especially like of the interactions between the two brothers that you don't see in other games. Like we're only just now seeing stuff like that in other games, but the Mario and Luigi games, they capture the chemistry of the two so well, I think. I love the interactions they have with each other and other people around them. I do hate the unnecessary Luigi hate, but other than that, I don't know. The games capture their personalities perfectly, and I don't know. I just think they're very fun. I think Partners in Time is. I don't want to say I hate Partners in Time, but I don't know. It's like kind of on the bottom in terms of like my favorite.
The
I
main
do
ones that
still
I
have
hear
enjoyment
from
though.
is just Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story. I've heard great things
Yeah,
about both of those.
Yeah, those are like peak. Those are really good.
Yeah.
Dream Team is also pretty fun too. I don't hear enough people talk about Dream Team. That one's really good as well.
Mm-hmm. I think that Superstar Saga is super fun so far. I'm really excited to try. Honestly, I'm really excited to try Dream Team. I've never seen anything of that game. I don't think, at least.
Very good
And then
game,
this is it Brothership? Is that what the game's called?
Yeah, Brothership. Yeah.
This looks like it looks so different, but in a good way. It's very much more open world now, I think.
Game looks so good. I'm so excited to play that. It comes out later. I believe it comes out during PACE. That's it's. I think they said November 7th, and PACE is in between that. That's like the latter half of PACE.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It releases November 7th.
It's so weird, like how close it is. I thought we'd be waiting another year for it, but they were like, boom, November, like be ready. Like
it's kind of like Wind Waker.
And yeah, Super also brings up a good point. They're using 3D models like now. Like they don't, because remember, like the past games, they didn't really use those. This game looks to be full on 3D, which
Dream
is like
Team,
crazy.
I think I saw a clip from either Dream Team or Bowser's Inside Story where they kind of did, but this is the first one where you can actually play as the 3D models.
Yeah, there are a lot of like moments in those games that have them, but this is like you literally play with those 3D models. It's no longer sprite based, which kind of, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of sad because I think this work really made the series, but honestly, Brothership makes it look good. I like the use of cell shading, and I don't know, they're still just as like lively as they were when they were sprites. So I don't know. It looks great.
Yeah, I really like.
I'm really happy to try that out.
I really like that they kept the art style.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the fact that they have like the black pupils and stuff, and like their colors are still the same. Like their colors more represent their box art now, because they weren't like that in the sprites. Like you would see that Mario has like a harsher red, but Luigi has like a more relaxed green. It almost looks like a blue, like a very light green, and it kind of brought that into the models, which I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited for it. It looks really fun.
JJ, I've always wanted to ask a Sunshine Runner this, like someone who's like, well, okay, so I know a lot of Sunshine Runners, but someone who's like a top 10 Sunshine Runner. In your case, you're top 2. What is your opinion on if Nintendo does a Sunshine 2 for the next 3D
knew
Mario
this was
game?
coming. I knew it.
I always want them to make a Sunshine 2, but at the same time, I know it's not going to be good. I don't want them to. I want them to make a new 3D Mario game. I want it to be great. Because they've proved that they don't care about Sunshine, because the 3D All-Stars remake of it was horrible.
Was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was just a straight-up emulator copy. That's all it was. Like,
it's to the point. The game has fucking frame drops. Like it never. I don't think it ever did.
Like, it's just an emulator copy. That's all it is. The Galaxy remake looked great for the.
It was the best. All-Stars. It was the best. Like it's the best like game on that collection. 64 is. It looks awful. because they upscaled all the textures and
Yeah, and I
like
think
that
it's
was
the
it.
Shindo version as well.
It is, yeah. So it's like
But-
the slowest version of the game. Like
They
oh
couldn't
my
have made it
God.
widescreen like the other two.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I don't think if they make a Sunshine 2, it could be cool. Like it'd be nice to have like the beach theme again. I just don't know
Yeah.
what they plan on doing with it. I just hope that their next 3D Mario game has a good theme, not just a let's travel to every single random world. Because when you have the idea of like let's just travel to every single random world, you get lazy with ideas because it could just be anything makes
3D
sense
land.
here because you can just travel anywhere. That's like why the Galaxy games were so easy to make level is because you can make literally anything. Like I feel like it's much better.
I mean,
try and stick to a
it's
theme
space.
of levels. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
space.
3D Land and 3D World did that too, and it actually kind of upset me that they did that because it's like, what was the point of making themed worlds when levels didn't reflect those themes? Like,
yeah.
3D World has like, for example, 3D World has like one snow level in World 3. Why? When the whole thing is an ice theme, there's one ice level, and it's the very beginning. Every other level is some weird like one's an autumn level, one's like an auto scroller in the sky, and I'm like,
I think it's the same thing in
what?
all of them. Like World 2, the first one is the sand desert
Yeah, it's
level,
this,
and
it's
then that's it.
desert level. For some reason, 3D World has 2 desert themes. Like, what is that about?
Yeah.
Like, one could argue it's like a canyon, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too similar.
Like, hear me out on this. 3D Mario game takes place. The hub world is you're in a cemetery. You go into the levels and they're more pessimistic places, and the game's called Super Mario Moonshine.
That they would not call it Moonshine, and I mean probably know why. But
like Sunshine stuff, I
there-
am looking forward to Mario Eclipse that's gonna be coming out, which is like this massive.
yes, I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
Ooh,
Comes
my
out in,
God.
like, August.
I really like
so
that.
it's very
Eclipse.
soon.
I wonder if they'll do another space-related game, like Mario Universe or whatever. I know that
I'd love a
they could
I'd love a
add
game that would
title
take place
to.
in JLB Land.
Actually, I do want them
Me-
to do that. I feel like that would be a really cool
They
game.
need to explore the other parts of the Mushroom Kingdom that like we just don't know, or like not the Mushroom Kingdom, but like Mario's world that we haven't really seen. Like we haven't seen JLB Land since Mario Land 1. That's
Well,
like the last time you really saw it.
I guess we
don't know.
kind of saw their world with Odyssey.
Not really.
At least certain places. We also saw 3 parts of the moon.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I think like, cause like those things is like, where do they fit? Like they just kind of exist. You're telling me that like New Donk always existed within the Mushroom World. Like Odyssey kind of like, I don't know. Odyssey kind of like threw away a lot.
Kinda
Like Odyssey's kind of
retcons the
said,
series in
screw
a
it.
way.
Yeah, they kind of said screw it. Let's just make. I don't know. It's very strange. Like, especially how the Mushroom Kingdom is like structured.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's your JJ? What's your opinion on the lore of Mario recently, in which Shigeru Miyamoto just recently stated
Bro.
that every version of Mario is the same?
I hate that so much.
Very interesting take, I would say.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the fact that Mario is like being their own games. I don't think that they should all be like this, all the exact same in its own universe or whatever.
I really find it
Yeah.
hard to believe that Paper Mario and 3D Mario are the same character.
That is also true.
You can make a point in which the Mario and Luigi, the 2D Mario and the 3D Mario are all the same person. I can't see Paper Mario.
Paper Mario, he just went through a really rough phase in his life where he just turned into paper, I guess. That was just...
I remember,
I guess, yeah.
I remember someone saying that like it could be like, you know, it could be chalked up to like magic, like, or like the fact that the Mushroom Kingdom always changed styles. But like the thing is, like, say if it was like a curse, why would Kamek grief everyone instead of just griefing Mario? That doesn't make sense. Why would they turn themselves to paper?
Bowser doesn't want to kill everyone. He just wants Peach, and Mario is Mario is the one protecting her.
Yeah, yeah, that was such a weird thing, and I kind of took it less seriously because Miyamoto doesn't even know his own lore. So, like,
he doesn't work
I
too
don't
much on the games anymore. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he was a producer for. He might have been.
he
director.
oversees them really.
Yeah, he might have been
Yeah, he
director
oversees
for
them now.
Odyssey, but actually, I don't think he was the director for Odyssey. Let me check. 'Cause I think he was the director for Odyssey. But actually, I don't think he was the director for Odyssey. Let me check. 'Cause I think he was the director for Odyssey. But actually, I don't think he was the director for Odyssey. Let me check.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't believe in that either. That all the Mario's are the same. That it just doesn't make sense at all. That's like saying all Links are the same or all Sonics. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Yeah, he was
Yeah, that's a good
okay.
question. Like, what does that mean for the other
He
characters, like
was
Luigi?
he was not on the like higher up team for Odyssey at all. It was directed by Kenta Motokura, but it was produced by Yoshiaki Koizumi and Koichi Hayashida. Uh, and yeah, he's not anywhere on this list.
That's
It
a
was
good question. Yeah, Super's bringing up some good points. Like, why not stop at Mario? What about the other characters, the major characters like Luigi, Peach, Bowser, Toad? Like, what about
Yeah.
those? Are they the same character? Like, that just
well,
wouldn't.
there are several Toads, but
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean Toad, as in the Toad. You know, red spots, blue jacket, like that Toad.
yeah, that's true.
That's more of what I meant. It's like strange. I don't know. It's just I did take it seriously after a bit because I'm just like
Yeah, maybe some
he
games just
doesn't.
aren't canon.
Well, yeah, of course. Like it makes sense, but it's like when you sit there and say, "Yeah, all Mario's are the same," it's like, what? Like,
Yeah,
it
I
just,
really think when he said that, he wasn't thinking that many people were that invested in the Mario lore.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, like I don't know. I feel like this franchise has been around for 40 plus years at this point. There's got to be at least somebody that would be interested in that, right? Like,
Yeah.
surely. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I think I do though. I do want to say one of my favorite things, especially about older Mario games, is discovering certain things that we thought was one thing, but is actually something else. Like, for example, swamps are a type of ghost.
What? They are?
Oh.
Yeah, they are. They are a type of ghost.
Womps
It's
and
a
thwomps?
It's specifically swamps. Yeah. But they're more spirits than they are just like rock monsters. They're just
Ah,
like spirits, yeah.
crazy. I thought they were just rock monsters.
That's why that's why thwomps fly. Like that's what they float
Oh,
and like wait for Mario to yeah. Like stuff like that is so cool to discover. I love like
yeah.
little things like that in the older games. It's really cool.
I didn't notice it till recently either. Speaking of thwomps, you ever realize that in Mario 3, which is like when I think they were introduced, um, they had like the spikes on them and everything, and then in Mario 64 they didn't. They had smooth edges, and then
Hmm.
when they go back to 2D 3D later, it's spikes again.
It really depends. It looks like most of the 3D in the 3D games they don't have spikes. Like in the 2D games they do.
Are there any
Like
thwomps in Sunshine
no.
No.
There are
Galaxy?
like no main Mario enemies in Sunshine
No, in
aside
Galaxy,
from like
yes.
yeah.
In Galaxy?
Yeah.
And
But
then
the Thwompson 3D games they have like those ridges. If not in obviously not in 64, but they just have like those ridges on them. They're not really spikes.
right.
The 2D games
I
do they
just find
do
it so
have
weird
spikes.
that I mean it kind of makes sense that they're smooth in 64 because you have to jump on them to get some
Yeah,
things. But
yeah, true.
it's I don't know, weird redesign to me.
They were also blue.
Yeah, they were
Like for a
blue.
while. I kind of like the blue Thwomps more than the gray ones that we have now.
My
They were
favorite
they were a lot
design
cooler.
of them is from Mario World.
Oh yeah, they have a good design in the world.
I think Mario World has my favorite design of a lot of enemies.
Hmm.
Except for like Goombas. Goombas in that game
Yeah, because
sucked.
well, that's just because they're not. Well, they were Goombas, and then they got retconned to be a different type of enemy. I think like a lot later on. Now
Yeah,
they're just Galoombas. They're not the original Goombas. So it's like weird.
right.
I don't know. World enemies are cool though,
Yeah.
especially since like I think something that does suck though is that a lot like if you look at the beta of the game, there were a
Mhm.
lot of more dinosaur related like enemies. So there were a lot of them. It was pretty
Right.
cool. Like a lot of them were like taken upon like the game coming out.
Hmm. I it wasn't clear to me until the game came out, but Wonder is really based off of World, I feel like.
Hmm. World
Yeah,
and
that sounds
3.
right.
Those
Yeah.
two.
Not because they, he has like the up throw. Not only that, but also no, I guess just that. But Yoshi is
Ah,
more reminiscent of the world
Special
design.
World too.
Oh yeah, the special world as well. I forgot about that.
I for Yoshi, I'd argue he's more into a 64 design.
Yeah.
I'd say, but maybe a little mix between the two. Probably. I'd probably like a mix, more of a mix.
I don't
But
like
it's
how
like,
Yoshi
yeah.
looks when there's something in his mouth in one.
Oh god. Yeah, instead
He
of
has
cheeks getting
like,
puffed out, he like puts his lip over his nose or something weird. I don't know
it's
what.
so weird. I don't like it at all. uh
So stupid.
yeah, but
Oh my god.
Mario is just a fucking anomaly, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fuck this game series. I'm never playing Mario again.
No.
You heard it here first on the JLB podcast. Joker quits Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo.
Damn, looks like there's no more Rhythm Heaven.
Okay, well, okay, so maybe I'll backpedal
Yeah,
just Mario, no more Mario.
Oh my god.
How much time? We have a few minutes.
We're still good.
Yeah, we have some time. What are some other things we can talk about?
I want to go back to Sunshine for a little bit.
Sure.
Sunshine.
What is your favorite category, JJ? If it's any percent, then choose one that's not.
Okay. It's probably 80%, but I'll try to think of one that's not that. There are a couple good ones on the category extensions. I think my favorite's 10 shines, no shines, probably.
What?
Which is you get the shot. You start on a race file, which means like you already have the airship shine. You already watch all the cutscenes, so you just begin in Delfino Plaza. The entire objective is just collect 90 blue coins and then trade them in for shines, and you hit the 10 shine mark without collecting any physical shines.
That sounds fire.
Because I think the most blue coins that you can collect without getting a shine is like 95, or it's like 96. It's not 100, but it's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's cool though. That's actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
I want to try that. It sounds like a cool category.
Yeah. I know you said you weren't interested in 120 star, really. 120 star,
Yeah.
120 shine.
120 shines.
There's another category. It's like 96 shines or something.
Yeah.
Is that just all
96 is
Is
yeah,
that
it's
without
all
the
shines without
blues?
blue coins.
all
Yeah.
shines without blues?
Yeah.
Is that one more interesting to you?
Yes, there was a category on the leaderboard that just got taken off and moved. I think to either MISC or category extensions. I think it's just category extensions. No, it's if you hit the air, 79 shines was a really fun one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as 96, except just the Delfino shines. Because Delfino shines just seem very boring and auto-scroller-esque, so 79 just does what 96 does, but faster.
Right. Yeah.
And it has a much more unique route. 96 shines is the same route as 120 shines, you're just not collecting blues.
You're not collecting blues, yeah.
79 shines is a much more unique route, and I think that's what makes it fun.
For sure.
It's like weird. The one thing that I did not like when it came to 100%ing Sunshine is the thing that I actually like about 120. Like the blue coins thing, I used to hate it, but it ended up being my favorite part of 120 because it chalked up to me not just collecting the 96 shines and then turning in the 240 blue coins. I
Yeah.
it was just, I don't know, it was just fun. Like, instead of just looking for shines, I'm also looking for blue coins. It's constantly something to do. I'm not just boring myself to death. I don't know. It's fun.
That's sort of why I like Odyssey. Is like Odyssey, I can always boot up my Switch anytime and just get a couple of moons. Like I'll just
Yeah.
because I still have 100% it, but I'm just making slow progress. I did Darker Side. I think I have like 540 or something.
Oh, nice.
I think I have like 600 something. I don't remember, but it's around
Mhm.
that 5-6 mark for me.
What's your opinion on hoverless?
It's cool except for the fact there's like just a few like really hard shines. Like try and imagine like trying to do eel hoverless. Like it just sucks.
Ugh, God.
Like
Yeah, it is.
the top level
Yeah.
on Maku's hoverless run is insane. Like to be able to get a
Yeah, it's a
115 hoverless.
115. That's I expect it to be like a 120.
Yeah. Well, like we did
Almost.
find like a way to do GBS without hover nozzle at all, and then now
Are
we
you
use
kidding?
Yoshi skip without hover nozzle.
What? That's crazy.
insane.
79 shines is still it's in misc, but it's on the main
Yeah.
leaderboard.
There was just like a massive leaderboard swap recently, so that's probably why.
What's 20
One
shines?
sec.
20 shines is just collecting the fastest 20 shines in the game.
Oh,
That's
okay.
basically it.
That's
It
why
used
it's
to be like
18 minutes.
like back in the day, it used to be like the race category. Like people don't race 90% because it was too long, so you just race 20 shines.
Yeah.
And now it's just gotten more and more optimized. It's pretty fun. It has some really cool tricks in it.
Are there any categories that were either removed or that have been proposed that you really want to be on the leaderboards?
That's what I'm gonna look at. I'm looking at category extensions. I want 10 shines, no shines to be on there. To be honest, a lot of
Shines, no
people run that.
shines.
It's a sick category. We got I got 24 people. I also ran it, but I just didn't submit my time, so it's 25.
What's your opinion on fast any percent?
Fast 8% is just it's like a practice tool, basically. It's just a mod that skips all Delfino movement and all the text is really fast.
Gotcha, okay.
That's basically it. So like it's cool, but at the same time, like it's really just meant for practice, and that's it.
Right. What is no major skips, just like
It's no
gelato beach skip?
GBS. Yeah, it's no GBS, and I think it's sort of like the pre-GBS category.
Gotcha,
Like
okay.
before JLB Beach Skip was found, this is what people ran.
Yeah, no GBS or EYG.
Yeah. Duck Riders is just doing Rico. It's just beating Rico.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I think it's a really funny category.
Yeah. New game plus.
That's just like what stuff can you get once like if you start on just like only any percent beaten file.
I really I love mirror mode categories.
Fun fact about that. I was the one who came up with that in terms of like I was known for someone who does like a bunch of like I did a lot of April Fool's stuff. Like
yeah.
I've made like on April Fools or like leading up to April Fools, like I made like a Smurf account or like a quote unquote Smurf account of just like this random user who got really good really fast and just like revealed it on April 1st or close to April 1st because people were starting to find out.
Yeah.
And then like people were upset about it, whatever, which to be fair, it makes sense. And then the next one, I was like, okay, I wanted to say that's like really community driven. So I was talking to like the people who like mod Sunshine, and they're like, can you make like a mirrored version of Sunshine? And they just got
crazy.
on it and made it. And on April 1st, we did a community race on the mirror mode.
That's so mirrored funny. SMS is insane.
Well, I would love to try 120 Shines mirror mode. I really want to try that.
The current record is 4 hours 40 minutes for it.
Oh god, their brain is like, yeah. I can't do this.
It's like the same with like mirror mode 64. Your brain is telling you to just do the muscle memory, but you can't. Yeah.
It's not like, okay, so like mirror mode Mario Kart is like one thing. It's like whatever. Like it's easy to get used to that. But when it comes to like a platformer and everything's mirrored, it's like everything is what's left is right and right is left, but your controls aren't inverted, so it just messes with you. So like, say it's 64, you go in the castle, you think, okay, the door to the left is BLB. No, it's JRB. Like it's so like it's like a different game.
Through it, like I'm looking at like the world record, like Despin's one. You look at just Bianco Hills, and it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's so crazy looking.
I really wonder what, like if Swag tried Mirror Mode Galaxy, how fucked up he'd be.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Or Mirror Mode Odyssey.
Yes, Super made a good point. Yes, Mirror Mode 64 is a different game, and especially how the way they handle shadows in 64. It is like, I don't even know. It looks so like everything looks darker. I don't know if that's true, but to me, everything looks less bright when it comes to the mirror stuff. I don't know if the same could be said about Sunshine. I'm not sure how they handle the shadows for certain things, but
it's odd because the shadows in 64 are artificial. So when you mirror the game, then all the shadows are now on the other side. So you're like,
yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is this?
It's so weird. It's like,
yeah. I honestly love the way mirror mode Mario looks. I think my favorite Mario design or color scheme at least, is like Star Road. Have you ever done?
Oh,
ROM
Mario
hacks
World
like that?
Mario?
Yeah, Mario.
I've done Star Road. Star Road's amazing. I love that game.
Dude, yes. I love that game. My favorite ROM hack. One of my favorites.
I was a big fan of 74 as well. 74 was a fun challenge. I tried EE, did not
Oh,
make it
God.
far,
Yeah.
but I do
EE.
enjoy 74. 74 was cool.
74 is pretty okay. I don't personally like the hack, but I did play it like when it first came out, and as a kid, I had fun going back to it. I don't have nearly as much fun, but it's still pretty like solid like game. It's like 151 stars in the original, like the vanilla, and then EE has like 157. It's a lot to take in, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. If you're ever up for it, JJ, you should try the Mario 64 co-op mod.
Oh
right,
yeah, true.
Wait, is Flood a co-op mod for 64? Not Flood
Like-
as in like
The nozzle.
yeah,
I'm assuming
the
you mean the
nozzle.
nozzle. I don't
FLUDD.
know. If it has, I haven't seen any releases of it.
Have you
I know
tried
like people were
the,
planning Sunshine stuff though.
I know there's a ROM hack that adds Flood, not like Flood as in the
Yeah.
level gets flooded, but the Flash Liquid Ultra dowsing device.
Yeah, yeah, the
Um,
actual device. Yeah.
Have you ever tried that for 64?
Oh, Last Impact does it. Yeah, that's true.
JJ?
Um,
Um,
where you go?
he's gone.
Guys, he's gone.
We'll wait for him to get back, I suppose. But
No.
there's another mod that there just like where Mario's moveset is just different in one or two ways. Those are some of my favorite hacks. Or even just
Yeah.
like, redoing his entire moveset. Like Odyssey Mario's moveset is amazing. Oh, there goes JJ.
No, he might have like had an internet problem or something.
Yeah,
Just
we
gonna-
will we'll pause the podcast real quick and we'll be right back, folks. Welcome back to JLB
Yeah, we were
Podcast.
Why would you?
Last time we were here, JJ's power went out.
It might go out again.
Probably, like-
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll end it somewhat soon then.
We'll likely end
But-
it if yeah.
The few questions I had: have you tried the flood mod for Mario 64?
I have not played a lot of mods. The one that I'd be most interested in trying is like the Odyssey one. The Odyssey one seems kind of cool.
OMM?
I used to have
Dude,
have the
you
world
got
record
to,
in
bro.
that.
Please, such a good one. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
it's a PC port mod, but
Yeah.
it is so good. Odyssey Mario's moveset because it's also compatible with like ROM hacks. It's compatible with 74 EE, 74 Star Road,
Yeah.
its own Moonshine, which is what the fuck is
One of the things like I wish.
PC port exclusive.
Yeah. One of the things I wish we had time for, I want to kind of talk more about is like randomizers. I think randomizers are like some of the coolest
Ooh,
things that have
good.
ever been made.
I really
like,
want to see.
they're really good,
More
yeah.
Ocarina of
randomizers.
Time randomizer is like one of my favorite things because Ocarina of Time is one of
Yeah.
my favorite games, and just being able to
That
play
on
that
co-op?
game over and over again, acting like
Dude.
it's a new game, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
That on co-op or Archipelago is like the coolest thing. Oh my god. Like Rando on
Yeah.
co-op? Dude. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
I-
OOT is a goated game.
I think randomizers are fine, but what really gets me is Archipelago. I love Archipelagos so much.
Archipelago is
Yeah,
fun.
those are really cool.
Those are really fun.
Yeah.
Do you
But
do them solo or do
Yeah.
you do them with friends? Because I know like I know
we
Prism
do
does 'em, like,
'em-
solo.
we do them, the JLB guys. We do them all together. But if you'd like to join us
Oh, yeah.
sometime, we'd love to have you for one.
I
We
honestly kind of consider it. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But JJ, I have two more questions for you.
All right.
Firstly, do you have an Android or an iPhone?
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. No!
Yes, yes.
Why'd you do this to me?
What
This-
fuck,
My
I'm
girlfriend
going.
has a Google Pixel, and she's been trying to get me to go over to the Pixel side.
That would
I hope she
technically be an
convinces
Android.
you. I hope she convinces you.
Well, it's too late now. I
Please.
already added him to the tally.
No.
Do notify us if you do switch. But secondly, JJ, what's next for JJsrl?
I mean, right now it's just all I'm going for is 112. I want to get my 112. I want to prove that I'm the best Sunshine runner that there is. Maybe
yeah.
not player,
yeah.
because there's a lot of really fast players. Inkstar is still faster than me, but I want to be the best Sunshine runner. My consistency is really, really good, and I want to prove that. Um,
Mhm.
I have a lot of motivations for just like really anything multi Mario. My brain goes all over the place. Like I'll find some motivation to run 3D World or Odyssey. So there's a lot with that. I just started playing more Melee again, and I'm trying to grind that a lot. So that's just like a thing I'm doing on the side. There's a lot of things that's coming up, and I'm excited for it. But for right now, it's literally just I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play any percent all summer until I get 112.
I would also like to mention that in November you'll be doing the Sunshine Relay with 2 different teams, right? And for pace.
Oh yeah, the relay's coming up in November, which I'm really excited for. We have to get a bunch of
Dude, I hope
signups.
to make
Try.
that.
I have to work with Joey and try and like balance the teams reasonably. Like,
Yeah, you can have Ouija.
well, no, I'm saying like I
on your
want.
team.
I that's like what I plan on doing. That's what I meant. Of like that's
Mhm.
I am going to be because I need to rewatch the one that was done in the past because this has been done before with Fuzzy and Chrism at like one of the ESAs, and I
Yeah.
have to rewatch that and see how that went. But I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be really fun.
Just call dibs on like Ouija and Inkstar and Tubu.
I gotta wear the sunshine drip as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, wear the Sunshine shirt. All right,
I've
JJ.
seen
Oh.
I've seen like so many people wear that shirt now. It's so cool because
Yeah.
I wore the one time and then I got my friend Daytendo to buy one, so he wore it. We both wore it to pace, and then like I saw like I think Jay had it, and then who else?
Johan.
Johan had it too. So cool.
Yeah. All right, JJ. Anything you want to plug?
Twitch.tv/JJsrl. I'm just doing more Sunshine. That's basically it. Top level Sunshine, yeah.
Let's fucking go. If you want to see some
The
amazing
goat.
Sunshine, you want to see the GOAT at Sunshine, go to twitch.tv/JJsrl. And also make sure to subscribe to the JLB channel. Thank you everyone for watching. I do want to mention one more time that next episode will be the final episode of Season 1 of the JLB Podcast.
End of season 1.
We will have 2 people on that I will not reveal yet. I don't want to spoil it. But they know who they are. I would also like to mention you can go in the description, click on the Discord. You can listen to the episodes as they're happening live. We do them in a stage channel. But besides that, my name's Joker, his name's Needle, that's JJ. Hopefully we can have him back on for Season 2. But, yeah, thanks for listening. You guys are the GOATs. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.